Welcome, my friends, allies, vassals, and enemies of the state. You know who you are. King Yorkie II of the House of Yorkie here. I am now King of the Hill, because I am your president, and I am talking about Capitol Hill, the seat of the US government. I am your president. It's a game I've been waiting for to come out since about the last general election. I think it was before then it was announced. And here it is. Let's go to a new game. Make America great again. Many challenges ahead, Mr. America, or Miss President. Better watch your step. You'll either die a coffee or rule long enough to make America again. Indeed. Makes about as much sense as certain people speaking.
I didn't like the look of the very first president I saw. Well, surely you know this kind of people that kept saying, if you don't like it, do better. So, yeah, I was the kind of kid to answer, challenge accepted. Nevertheless, I didn't know I would have to do better again so quickly. But here it was, the thought that if I were president back then, I would have worn a helmet.
Lincoln, JFK.
Yet, growing up, I
presidents were
realized that
assassinated.
helmets do not always protect people from dying, but that I would. I also got to know that choosing the right confidant of your secrets is really important.
Watergate
And
scandal.
that mine would have been a locked diary. Time has passed. I got married, and if life has taught me anything about marriage, it's that you should never get married to that man.
Oh, Clinton. Ha.
Back in the
Monica
day, it
Lewinsky.
was all like a game about doing better than my predecessors. But times got harder, darker, and I thought, maybe instead of trying to win the challenge, I could at least try not to lose. I was full of doubts. What would I do? Would I be able to save people, or would I only make everything worse? You can never be sure. Well, almost never.
Mars, military
What I'm
action.
sure of is that I would never have left you, Oppie. Good job, little one. Now you can rest. But I was not done yet. I no longer wished for would and wouldn't. I wanted the choice between do and don't. And I finally received that choice. Do you know what I would do differently if I was the president right now? Nothing. And you know why?
I am.
Because now I am your president.
Well, I know you had a falling out with a guy named George who was king a while back, but like I said, you voted this king in, so let's see. The new president. Hello, Miss President. It's strange to see her choose this title from someone other than myself. However, if you're reading this, you just won the election and became my successor. Admittedly, they had to change the laws since I'm not a natural-born citizen, but there you go. So let me welcome you to the White House. The note you're reading now is just one of many I've left for the next president to continue my legacy and learn the nuances of governing. Of course, you can decide to do this on your own. Let's run the tutorial. But it would be so much better if we worked together. So let me show you around your office. A desk, couches, some furniture, and a door. It is through this cursed door that all the world's trouble comes. Let's try it out. Click on the door. Click on a door. Well, there's a patio door. Oh, that door. Hidden in the wall. Chief of Staff. Hello, Mr. President. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the White House. I'm certainly your president who will be great for America. Well, my all. Thank you for the kind words. You'll have visits every day. Every day. Some need your advice, while others want you to make decisions. Your position requires listening to all of them. But how you solve their problems is entirely up to you. Remember, every choice will have short and long-term consequences. Select one option using the left mouse button. P.S. You can also do the following: 1, 2, 3 to select dialogue options. That'd be 1 and 2, I assume. Or space to speed up the animations. Okay. Of course, I'm sure it will be great for America. I just hope that we'll get along and the cooperation will bear fruit. May take some while to adjust. Please do not hurry, we have a lot of time. One of the short-term consequences is the statistics change. You can always predict which area of life will be affected by the decision, but it's difficult to determine how and to what extent. There is no way to foretell the future, my friend. If your statistic drops to 0, and you fail to recover before the end of the day, you'll lose. So I see, I'll do what's best for my country. I'm here to help my citizens. That was plus 20 on politics. Alright, we have to start working. The first we should do is to establish a party line, so that both the government and the citizens can get accustomed to your values and principles. What will the process look like? I will ask the Director of Communications to come to you and ask some questions. Your answers will determine the party's line and consequently the government's approach. Well, what are you waiting for then? Get it done. Make it so, number... Well, you look like a number 2. To be honest. Director of Communications. Good morning, Mr. President. I'm here to help you. Please try to answer as many questions as possible so that we can present a consistent image to the public. No wrong answers. Are you ready, sir? I'm ready as I'll ever be. Here we go. First question is, do you support the death penalty? Okay, you're now faced with a tough choice. The party you identify with the most will determine your path, dialogue options, and statistic changes associated. You see this icon next to an answer. The outcome depends on the party you belong. Make sure you satisfy your voters. No, I don't agree with the death penalty. It goes against the most basic human right, the right of life. Will the government build on banking regulations and regulate the stock market? Yes. Banks are responsible for the majority of financial crises when they're unregulated. Have you seen 2008? What do you think of Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program? Ah, SNAP. Food stamps. I think it's appropriate. It allows families to afford the most basic food stuff. What is more important for you, social responsibility or individual rights? Responsibility. We are fond of our Bill of Rights, but we need a Bill of Responsibility. If a state was to double its electoral votes, which state would you pick? New York. Do you think anti-discrimination laws for employment are important? They're a short-term stopgap. They don't work that well, but they can have some impact. Honestly, though, most anti-discrimination laws don't have any quotas attached, which people don't realise. I will say yes. Should we normalise relations with Cuba? Cuba's dodgy. No, we'll stay as we are. Do you think there should be a wall at the US-Mexico border? No, because what we found actually is when you put a wall there, you're actually dividing American land or American farmers' land. It's also not particularly effective. People find ways around or over it. So, no. It's an expensive way of doing virtually nothing. There is crime down at the border. There is crime everywhere. But there are better ways of dealing with it. Do you think that renewable energy is a sector we should invest in? Oh, absolutely. Renewables and nuclear. Nuclear is a lot safer than people think. And that's it, Mr. President. I will pass your answer to the campaign staff. And after the short analysis, they will propose the best way to present your views to the world. Chief of Staff will come to you with results right away. Well, thank you. And here's our lad again. The Chief of Staff. Hello again, Mr. President. I have received the results from the campaign staff. You want their recommendations? Of course I do. Your answers to those troublesome questions have proven you to be a Democrat. Do you agree with it? Yes, I do. Overall. Alright, so be it. Now, all we have to do is follow the values of this party. People remember your choice, sir, so sudden change of mind may confuse the voters, and politicians as well. Anyway, we'll pass your answer to the staff. Is there anything else I should take care of right now? Yes, there is one more thing. This is a standard procedure, but it will put things in order. I have brought a short questionnaire. Inside it, there are some notes for from your past, important memos, but also questions about the plans and future. Please fulfill it carefully, sir. And of course, do everything carefully. Also, Mr. President's private notes for research purposes only. Identity. I marked as serious. I can change. Okay. It's a serious business. And of course, I am Yorkie York. King Yorkie II of the House of Yorkie. Wife Sarah, relentless woman of Russian origin, brought Cold War dynamics into the President's marriage. Daughter Eleanor, a party animal, can be easily spotted in various nightclubs. Daughter Alyssa, President's oldest daughter, wife of Chester, runs a very popular blog. Son-in-law Chester, Alyssa's husband, black sheep of the family. Oh dear. Favourite child? Alyssa. She's in touch with the public through her blog. Presidential pet. Let's go for Stephen the Tortoise. Slipping over a banana peel. The oldest trick ever. Your feelings? A simple man. I enjoy a good slapstick comedy. If there was a bombing attack, what would you do? Take cover, of course. Get out of there. And then make sure the right people are dealing with it. Someone's trying to bribe you. Call the police. I'm not bribable. There's a new secretary in the Oval Office. Hello, Juliet. Let me show you around. Jill, Jane, Janet, I don't care. I'll call you Becky. No, we get to know the staff. Your deaf uncle has asked for you for the tickets to Pinky Swear concert. I'm not going to do him out of it. He might be deaf, but he can probably sense the vibrations and other means. Enjoy the show. No, he can go to the Pinky Swear. Areas of interest. Know your business. We live in it. Invest, harvest, repeat. Aim for the sky. Climb the ladder. Shake right hands. Should always know your business. Vice President's assignments. Friendship is power. You better watch out. Friendship is power. The ups and downs. I'm not sure what these mean exactly. It's a little bit non-descriptive, but we'll do ups and downs. The exhibition of the President's whole book opening soon. Some find their childhood notes embarrassing, while others enjoy ruminating about the good old days. Our President must belong to the latter, since his first books will now be exhibited in the White House. Among them, one can find hidden gems like the President's Encyclopedia, with the President's own drawings in the margins. Oh dear. I wonder how NSFW they might be. The President commented, "You have to give the residents moustache or crooked teeth." President, sorry. The President. I don't feel guilty though, because I valued my freedom above everything else. Already then, I felt like I knew what was best for our country. So I just took the pencil and I gave certain presidents whiskers or a longer beard. Well, you know, I mean, it must be said. I wish to be the president so badly that I even drew myself in the last page. I'm not going to apologise for that. Those are my books after all. Yes, I was sure of myself back then. Poor taste for the presidency. The president has always acted in a presidential way, even in high school. He knew that being in power is never a piece of cake and requires making some tough decisions. So, when the student council had the opportunity to decide on the school canteen menu, he decided to include all types of food according to the idea of to each his own, but the bigger diversity also increased the cost of food. cut down on types of food, resigning mostly from the unhealthy ones. He argued that he cared about the health of the students. Of course. Of course. I've seen school dinners in America when I was an intern at the school. And I've seen school dinners when I was a child in England. School dinners in England were a 2-course meal of cooked food. Here, they seem to be pizza, chicken bites and other nonsense. Not healthy. Dan Williams diagnosed with brain aneurysm. What will his vice president do? Since Dan Williams is currently unable to govern due to his poor medical condition, the eyes of the world are on the vice president. Now he's the number one in the USA. Given the political past of the vice president, Americans may start to wonder what will happen next. Widely known from centralizing the power and keeping both his enemies and friends close. The vice president is known to entrust his subordinates with equal parts autonomy and responsibility. Most experts agree he'll probably not use this opportunity to seize. Yes. Always have good people around you, whatever position you're in. Dan Williams diagnosed with brain aneurysm. What will his vice president do? Since Dan Williams is currently... Oh, we've already done this one. I don't know why it's in twice. That's a bit of an error. Submit answers. Yes. Great, let's see. There's still one more thing we have to take care of before proceeding. The promises you made during the campaign. Let's pick a few that we think we could actually deliver on. Okay. Once elected, I vow to... Every president carries the burden of his words. What were the promises that launched your presidency? What will you try to accomplish during these 4 years? Solve opioid crisis? No. I have a very strong reason for saying no. I've known people very close to me who required narcotic painkillers. And while there is a crisis of overprescription, there's also a crisis that people don't realise of the very difficult job some have of getting appropriate pain medication when they need it. It's a double-edged sword. Urgent reform of police, excessive use of force by police officers has always been very troubling, but now the risk of being killed by police is higher than ever. Do anything you can to change that. Social unrest is skyrocketing because our police officers can't stop killing people for no particular reason. The US policing system needs to change ASAP. The often neglected thing is, while yes, America has a relatively high number of police killings, it also has a relatively high number of police deaths in service, compared to other countries who have different methods of policing. So I'll bear that in mind. Human mission to Mars. Win the technological race by becoming a space pioneer. Set foot on Mars and place an American flag on its surface. Honestly, that's better done by private companies. We can't do new war on terror. Can't do build a wall. Strict gun control. Find a way to stop mass shootings from happening by introducing new regulations for the trade and possession of firearms. It looks like the Second Amendment needs some clarification. As mass shootings are becoming the plague of our times, take appropriate measures to control the firearms market. Of them, I'm going to do police reform. Minor goals. I can choose 3. Unparalleled diplomacy. Show the people of America how much of a difference it makes to finally be represented internationally by a world-class diplomatic talent. Some decide to pursue the presidency because of their sense of duty. For others, it seems a natural culmination for their ego-driven ambition. I, on the other hand, wish to leave behind a legacy and go down in history as a president that elevated the international position of the United States to unprecedented levels. That's a good one. Excuse me. Whoever said that happiness is limited to fleeting moments has clearly not lived under my leadership. Past experiences have taught contemporary American voters not to trust the words uttered by professional politicians. They have heard all the sound bites and saw numerous clickbait agendas rise to the surface of public discourse only to disappear inconsequentially. I refuse to follow that same pattern. When elected, I will prove what matters most is not chasing instant gratification, but a sustainable and lasting change and a new standard for US public well-being. Not a bad idea. Emergency response. As a great man once told his enemies, strike me down and I will become more powerful than before. Only the truly successful, among the truly successful, there are none that tell you to aim at perfection. Not everything in life is under our control, and what distinguishes those who make it from those who don't is the ability to avoid crises, but a swift implementation of a recovery plan once the crisis occurs. I will not sugarcoat it. Our military is facing difficult times, but it's always darkest before the dawn. Very welcome. Pick your friends carefully, acknowledge your loyal allies, and remember that respect has to be earned and maintained. Past experiences have taught contemporary American voters not to trust the words uttered by professional politicians. They have heard all the sound bites and saw numerous clickbait agendas. That's similar then to unparalleled diplomacy. In fact, it's very much the same. Not great, not terrible. Before you... Oh, that just adds 150 to one stat, which is society. Before you think about reaching for pitchforks, consider the fact that at least we're not insert your favourite scapegoat country. Though globalization has evened the playing field, that's questionable. Many still look up to the United States. We are, after all, a city upon a hill. Because of that, and for the sake of American citizens, I vow not to lower the standards of living we have grown used to, and carefully avert any impending crisis. The US deserves to be in good hands. And we have no pushover. Let the enemies of the United States know that if they are counting on the deterioration of the US Army, they're all out of luck. Though globalization has largely evened the playing field, many still look up to the United States. We are, after all, a city upon a hill. Okay. So that's for military. That's for just general. That's rewarding allies. That's elevating the reputation. Let's go for man of the people. Rewarding allies, we're very welcome. And unparalleled diplomacy. Your advisors will keep track of your promises so that you can check on them from time to time and find out what remains to be done. We're particularly good in politics, it seems. The strength of your party's influence and support for your actions. Okay. And economy. We're not so hot or medium on the others, and we're fairly weak on diplomacy. Promises, we're out. Here you can see your progress in fulfilling promises and read their descriptions. Not fulfilling your election promises will make it much more difficult for you to win the election. Urgent reform of policing. Complete police reform. And sign the reform bill. Man of the people. Maintain 600 society for at least 7 turns. Very welcome. Maintain 600 diplomacy. We've got to get up to that first. Another people is 600 society. We've got to get up to that too. Achieve 1000 diplomacy. So if we knock that out, we'll almost certainly do that as well. The second type of task is quests. You can receive reward for completing them or push forward other tasks and goals. Have a look. These are the quests. Each includes a set of goals. Sometimes there is a limited time. Reward and punishment. Be sure to complete tasks in time so that you won't suffer afterwards. We have requests from the previous president. What can I say? Take care of all your affairs and rest a bit. A lot of work awaits you. That just needs me to press end of turn. And police reform, a real police reform requires preparing both the groundwork and legislation. Alright. Here is the task I've given you. Please read it and try to complete it. Not very difficult after all. And I believe in you. So do I. But first, let's finish the conversation. Close the quest log. That was a busy day, Mr. President. And it's only beginning. I will give you some time to settle down. You have to gain strength since we have much to do during your presidency. I appreciate your help. You've been good so far. Good. I think we're settling in nicely. Letting people know who we are and what we want and what we're going to do. Nothing else to do right now, so... Quest completed! End of turn. And should finish your work at a decent hour. Okay, good job, Mr. President. It is the beginning of a beautiful friendship. You don't have to worry about trying everything right away. Let's turn off the lights. That's it for today. There will be plenty more opportunities. Just keep calm and do your job. Very well. Alright, summary. No particular changes. Slight gains in a couple of things. Knock knock. New messages arrived in your email inbox. There we are. Pending legislation. Good morning, Mr. President. I trust you had a chance to familiarise yourself with combating economic disparity and resource hoarding resulting from inheritance laws. Was it to your liking? Would you like me to bring the document for signing? The hell document was that? I never saw it. I don't know. We'll say yes. Let's be honest, what did the kids of some billionaires do to inherit financial empires that are too big to fail? We need to put a fixed ceiling on inheritance and property transfer. So that when one of the old dragons passes away, we can take the wealth they've been hoarding and have it do some good for the American people. Inheritance tax. Probably for the first time in 50 years. This one will be controversial and contested in court. But I hope my actions embolden US officials that too have been sick of the income disparity. The income disparity is a problem, yes. Not sure inheritance tax is the best way to deal with it. No, we're not signing it. It's not something I'd like to have associated with my presidency. Very well, so I'll inform the committee of your decision. Alright, that's the email done. What's this? 51st President of the United States of America. Our law enforcement system is dangerously outdated. Americans demand an urgent reform. How they see me? Emily Kawhi? Don't get me started on this guy. My brother is in active duty on the stories he tells. And military is in a sorry state, it really is. The administration just doesn't have what it takes. Rebecca, Oregon. I just came back from a business trip to Europe. I'm shocked to learn how famous and well liked our president is there. Whatever he's doing seems to be working. And Thomas of Vermont? Sad sight, I can't bear to watch the news anymore. Seeing other politicians run circles around him is pathetic. About me, nope. My views. Right now they have got me very much in democratic socialism. My actions, nothing yet. My history, nothing yet. And then we had a knock at the door. There's somebody at the door. Who are you? National Security Advisor. Mr. President, we have some problems with people affected by, let's call it technological progress. Someone had sex with an AI and now it's become sentient. Did Dogecoin and cat currency finally make a baby? Oh my god, that would be a problem. That's actually quite possibly going to happen at some point. No, sir, but you're pretty close. Last week, more than $300, $1 billion, have been wiped off the crypto market as the so-called stable coins became highly unstable. Money disappears. Stable means unstable. Business as usual. Stable? Do you mean the horse farm or something? I do like horses. Well, I mean, it is a crypto business as usual, so... Not exactly. Some of the biggest restaurant chains in California and Arizona, like blockchain burgers or fried NFTs, paid their staff in crypto only. Oh dear, I think I'm connecting the dots. The dots are not looking good. Yeah, they don't have any cash. The coin they chose, Fantastic Moonshine, oh, what's a great name, also known as PFS, was worth more than 50 cents last Friday, and now it's what, 1 cent? It's worth less than 1 cent. And all those people just found out they were working their asses off for like 10 cents an hour. They may not be ecstatic about that, that's certainly true. The first wave of riots is nearing Silicon Valley. Some protesters bought torches, while others only had e-torches on their phones. Look how far we've fallen, fighting like animals over some made-up moonshine. Back when I was a kid, we didn't have this nonsense. Sir, we had actual values. Date, skate, 8-bit consoles. When someone was a fraud, we would hit him in the head with a stick. Yes, I still like to. Third, it's really, we used to take girls on actual dates, not just send them photos of our junk and call it a day. Yeah, we've got politicians doing that. They need to stop. Not the best time to praise the good old days. Now we're here and you're no longer a kid with a stick. You must do something before anyone gets seriously hurt. You can't beat them, kick them in the nuts. This is a presidency, not a soccer match. Or football match for my English friends. People are mad, but they put their trust in shitcoin, which was beyond stupid. Even so, I refuse to blame the guys from Silicon Valley. They disrupt, get high, and create the future. That tiny misstep could not be taken seriously. No, it's not about Silicon Valley, it's about the employers. What? I will propose a bill to stop all US companies from using crypto as a salary. Good. Times are wicked and wild. People must feel just a little bit safer, or we'll have an absolute shitstorm. I don't disagree. Good call, sir. This should calm the protesters down. No. Minus 20 on the economy. Act. This is it, the bread and butter of every presidency. Familiarize yourself with a document and decide whether or not it should be enacted, and see the consequences reflected in your statistics. First, remember to grab the pen and place your signature in a box. And now it's time to put a stamp on it, should the document be accepted or end up in the trash. Presidential authorization or veto of an act that's gone through both houses of Congress. Salary Regulation Supplement 1. Keep US companies from using highly volatile cryptocurrencies as salaries for people employed in the United States. By the authority vested in me as President of the Constitution, President by the Constitution and laws of the United States of America, it is hereby ordered as follows. US companies can no longer use cryptocurrencies for employee payments. Yeah, that wouldn't be something the President themselves could do. That would have to go through the House of Congress, I believe, but that's what we're going to assume this has happened. The only acceptable currency is the US dollar. Okay. I'm trying to authorize it. It's not happening. Why is this not happening? Ah, it's a pen, isn't it? That's fine. Now I get it. All right. We're at 680 on politics, 390 on society. We're doing okay, slowly growing on a lot of things. Do we have anything else? Not in the mailbox. Not here. Police form, nothing yet. All right. Next time, next day. Email pending legislation. New email. Termination of special interest lobbying privileges. Good morning, Mr. President. The law, termination of special interest lobbying privileges. Waiting for your decision. Might be something I'm interested in. Let's have a look. Please bring me the relevant documents. Understood. Alright, termination of special interest lobbying privileges. My authority vested me as President of the Constitution and laws of etc., etc. The First Amendment to the Constitution of the United States of America can no longer be invoked to take the right of lobbyists to conduct business dealings with the legislative institutions of the U.S. The scope and definitions of this executive order shall mirror those of the Lobbying Disclosure Act of 1995. That's fine. I have acquired new counteraction. 2 available action points, whatever that is. Let's see who's here. Chief of Staff, let's get down to business. To defeat the haters, we have a great 4 years ahead of us. And if we don't screw up anything up, the following 4 will too. But it would be worthwhile to start doing something. Have you thought about changes in our great country that we would like to implement? I have some ideas. Great, I have an idea how we can start making this a reality. So tell me. You can't be passive if you want to win people's hearts. You have to act. Preferably change something, or introduce something great. We will then use your name and add a word, and that's it, making history. What do you suggest? Although it's more a question of what you suggest, we will implement it. I have some documents for you. I'm sure you'll find something interesting. Any advice going forward? Yes, remember that nothing is free. Investment costs money, so don't drive the country into ruin, because instead of improving the situation, you will only ruin it. Also, try to make decisions that will improve the country. Yeah, thanks, Captain Obvious. That's kind of obvious. Basically, I think what they're going for is the fact that pretty much every president has their own particular interest and focus. Well, that's it. Would you like to review the documents now? Yes. Projects, let's go. Projects are an investment minigame. Your investments affect many aspects of your presidency, such as statistics, promises, or political views. They can also unlock additional actions in the world map. Here you can see changes in statistics that affect them each turn. The funding button allows you to add funding to this project tree. Depending on project tree properties, it can affect your daily statistics change. Funding cost starts as much as told by the project tree. Okay. Project nodes are elements of the project trees. They give one-time bonuses and override tree properties. For example, the cost of funding. Project nodes are, by default, locked. You can unlock them with token points. You get token points after getting enough funding. Once the project is unlocked, it stays like that until the end of the game. Defund button allows you to remove funding from the project tree. It lowers daily stats changes from this tree. You will often get 50% of the funding cost back in exchange. Using defund can save you from a dire situation. We're not Democrats' project tree ideas. Alright. We have healthcare. We can do refundable prescriptions, federal workers insurance, or individualized 3D printed meds. Social welfare, young parent support program, subsidized cultural event participation, but the social work. All of these do not sound particularly democratic. Diplomatic presence, reach out, emergency humanitarian or donate to international media. Okay. Limit diplomatic activity, suspend mutual... No, we're not doing that. That's against what we're doing anyway. Domestic labour. Adjustment of baseline tax deductions. Hang out with lobbyists. A small business safety net. Give back policy and okay. Insurance requirements for essential workers. Domestic intelligence, energy. I think we're going to go and put something into there. Oh, I've used up all my action points. That was a slip up. Oh well, that's fine. Right, so now we have projects. We've got 0 available tokens. We'll find where we are. Well, I think for now... Oh, that's coming down. That's not good. I think for now, that's a good basis of establishing ourselves. We'll carry on next time. If you wish to help the channel grow, the like, comment and subscribe are big helps. And I'll see you next time. Farewell, my friends, allies, vassals, and enemies of the state. You know who you are.